Hi, it's Mimi from HeyMimi.com, and today I'm going to show you how I add these little mini calendars to my doodle journal / notebook that I carry with me wherever I go. You can either rubber stamp the calendar or you can print them from your computer, find it on the internet, or use Word. Just be sure and resize it. I found that resizing it down to 75% was the right size for this little moleskin notebook. In the end, what I ended up using was this old calendar stamp that I've had for about 15 years. I was avoiding using this because it doesn't have any numbers already printed on it. So I carry this notebook with me wherever I go. I keep fonts that I love and products I want to try out or phone numbers, anything I want to have with me that I haven't put into my iPad. And it's also fun to be able to make it pretty and doodle, which you can't do on your iPad. These I printed out on the internet, and it seems like a lot of trouble to keep resizing everything, but once you get the right size, then you just need to figure it out once, and then you can add that calendar as many times as you want. This is my favorite notebook. This one's made by Essentials, but Moleskine makes them as well as Evernote, which is cool. You could save your pages to your Evernote account in the cloud. Now, I like to print all kinds of stuff onto sticker paper. This is made by DigiOrange. I got it on Amazon, but you can use any Avery, half sheet, or any kind of adhesive paper. So I've printed this little calendar out at 75%, and I like it because it already has the dates on it. But in the end, I ended up trying some rubber stamp. Here's a calendar stamp that I've transferred into a DVD case, but I wish I didn't because now I can't tell you who makes the stamp. I put the stamp on this Martha Stewart jig kind of thing, which is neat because you can let it go and let it pop up on its own, so you're not going to smudge it when you lift it up. I can fit 6 on a page, and by the 6th one you can see I'm really pushing hard because I want a nice clean image. And now I'm going to trim all my little tiny calendars down with this great Fiskars paper cutter. This is another one of my favorite tools. It's got this wire that shows you exactly where you're going to trim. Now that I have 3 little calendars, 2 rubber stamped and 1 printed off the computer, I decide to go ahead with the simplest one so that I can do my own doodled embellishing. I like to use these tripless fine liners. They're made by Staedtler because they're water-based, and I can doodle with the black pen and it's not going to seep through to the other side. If you use any kind of alcohol-based marker or pen, it's going to seep through, and then you're only going to be able to use one side of your paper. So for this black doodling, I use either a Staedtler pigment fine liner, their tripless fine liner, or a Sakura Micron. Then when it comes to adding a little color, I like to use a water-based marker, or in this case I tried some new pencils that I have, which are Prismacolor Very Thin, which I originally thought was just going to be a super skinny little pencil, but actually what it means is it's got a harder lead, so you can lay down a more solid line of color. Now it's time to do some doodling around that February calendar, and I really like this book, Zenspirations by Joanne Fink. It's a short little book, and you can find a lot of her doodling videos online, but I really like having the book to refer to when I can't think of what else I know how to do. Here I just have some little scallops, and I want to do something a little different. First of all, I'm going to stamp the month on there. I love this Clearly Better by TCP Studios, I think. It's ink that works really good with acrylic stamps. I just love putting things on sticker paper because it saves me from tearing out pages when I don't like the way the graphic looks. I've got the calendar the way I like it. I'm going to stick it down. This is why I like this grid paper, because I can line it up. It's actually not all that straight here because I'm trying to make a video at the same time and talking and taping and crafting. So you can tell I hesitate a little bit and think about pulling the sticker up, but I go ahead and stick it down because I realize once I've doodled around it, it's not going to be a big deal that it's a tiny bit crooked. So now I'm going to take my black pen and just use the sticker as a straight edge to outline the calendar in black. Okay, now here's an important thing I want to show you. I just messed up a little bit, and I am not going to get out the whiteout. I'm not going to pull that sticker up and start over. I'm not going to cover it up. Instead, I'm just going to doodle on it and make it look like I meant to do that. So I'll just put a little loop-de-loo there, add a couple of dots, and now it's just more doodling. You just got to learn to roll with it and just work with your mistakes, because part of the handmade charm of doodling is imperfection. So you got to learn to embrace the imperfection and have fun with it. Don't beat yourself up if it's not perfect, which is kind of contradictory to my using sticker paper, but I guess there's only so much imperfection I'm willing to embrace before it just starts looking sloppy to me. So now you can see I've made some scallops that are kind of longer than they were on the other one, and I'm going to do that all the way around the calendar. And because I'm using the grid, I'm going to end on the corner. But you could, and especially if you don't have this grid pattern, you can end by doing a scallop around the corner like this. On the January calendar, I doubled up after the first round of scallops. I kind of did a double scallop. And on this one, I'm going to do an interior U shape. And this was inspired from Joanne Fink's Zenspirations. Now I'm using this 0.3 fine line, but I probably would be using a 0.1 micron. So this is right out of Zenspirations. So I'm not going to show you too much how I did that because it's really Joanne Fink's design. I'm using this Prismacolor very thin colored pencil, and you can see it's really the same size as any other pencil. It comes out with a more filled in effect, it seems to me, and it doesn't need to be sharpened as often, which I kind of like. It holds the sharp point longer. I like to maybe pick 4 or 5 colors, I guess about 5 colors, and then just do them randomly around. I try not to use too many colors or it just starts looking, I just don't like the overall look if I use more than maybe 5 colors. You could also do this with a water-based marker. Zig brushables also work really good. As you can see, there's a whole lot of imperfection going on in this little design, and that's what I like about this doodled effect as opposed to just printing out a piece of clip art. I'm sure you can tell I have zero natural artistic ability, and doodling's fun for me. I'm surprised that by just getting a book and watching other people do it that I've actually been able to make something that I like to look at. If you like this style and you want to do an art journal, you should take a look at Martha Lever's Lollapalooza 3 Big Grid Journal Workshop on Creative Workshops or marthalever.blogspot.com. It's really a lot of fun.